Chapter 14 Skill, Death Coil. Seeing the hound approaching, a plan flashed in Smith's mind to pull the diaper from under the baby's butt. The dog's favorite thing is stained on it, and the smell is a bit pungent. It can be used as a bait to deceive the dog and come to a golden cicada to escape. Smith was about to start shitting when suddenly there was a roar of an engine at the alley. He thought it was reinforcements coming from the other side, but he didn't want a pistol to stick out of the car window, and just empty a magazine against the suits and ties. Bang! 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 The 15 rounds of bullets were tilted within seconds. The suits and ties did not expect Smith and his accomplices to be hit by a black gun from behind. It was very difficult for the two of them to go side by side in the alley, and 7 or 8 people fell on the spot when a shuttle of bullets hit. Not to mention the dead people, the ones who didn't die naturally wailed again and again, and the short leader didn't expect that. He always thought Smith was a loner. A group of people looked for a hidden spot, and when they turned back, the sound of the engine outside the alley had already left. The dogs barked wildly because of the sound of the gunfire, and a group of people dared not take the lead, for fear of being shot again. Their predictions were correct, and Smith shot out of nowhere, killing 5 people with 5 bullets. Being attacked by the enemy, in the cursing sound of the short leader, a group of people left their mourning companions and fled into the corner of the alley in embarrassment. The sound of the engine outside the alley rang again, this time in a different direction, and the short leader forced him with a gun, but no one was willing to rush out to die. After the engine sound disappeared, they walked out carefully, but the target Smith had disappeared. Shit. The short leader's eyes flashed with anger, and he punched the wall beside him, then blushed, and rubbed the back of his hand secretly behind his back. If I hit this punch, the cement wall will be fine, but my hand will hurt a lot. The Ford F-150 was driving on the road at night, Russell was driving, Smith was sitting in the co-pilot, and Quintana was holding a baby in the back. The car was a little quiet. Russell held the steering wheel and asked, "Smith? Who are you?" Smith's attitude is indifferent, and he has no consciousness of being saved. He can leave safely without Russell. He has this strength. "My name is Russell, and this is my letter of introduction." Russell took out a letter from his jacket pocket. Smith took it, and after reading it, the guard in his eyes weakened a bit. The special thread bullet made Smith smile knowingly. How has the cross been recently? To be honest, it wasn't very pleasant. His son was kidnapped, the company he left from. Hee, that company is going to be unlucky. Russell shrugged when he heard the words, "Is this commercial nonsense?" Smith sat upright, with the word pretend written on his grim face. "In the face of the cross, I promised to train you for a week, but I can't do it now. I have to wait until I finish the matter at hand." Russell said politely, "Do you need my help?" "No, a little trouble, I can handle it by myself." After saying this, Smith closed his eyes and took a nap. He could see that the man was very tired, but he still tried to show a tough posture. Russell is very self-aware. Smith did not show it to him, but to reassure the women in the back row. Russell glanced at the rearview mirror, a woman with charm. The more she looked, the more familiar she felt. Damn, isn't this my goddess? The woman's face is 80% similar to Monica Bellucci, and her body is equally hot, but it's a pity that the makeup is not so stunning, and the pungent and inferior perfume makes it difficult for people to associate her with the goddess. In the rearview mirror, Quintana noticed Russell's scrutiny, and the corner of his mouth raised a wink, as if no one was pulling his clothes and nursing the waking baby. Russell looked away with a pained face. This temperament, this style, this is not the goddess in his mind. When he met Smith, who had dozens of pics, Russell felt that he might have entered another plot world, but when he met Quintana, who had the face of a goddess, the word maybe was directly eliminated by him. This is a new copy, but I don't know which movie's plot it is. Forgive Russell, he has no memory at all, and the only impressions of the goddess are The Beautiful Legend of Sicily and The Matrix. Obviously, neither of those. Ding. The host contacts the plot character Smith, triggers the lottery session, and gets 2 lottery chances. Do you want to draw now? The host touches the plot character Donna Quintana and triggers the lottery session. Is it drawn now? Hearing the prompt in his mind, Russell responded immediately, opened the interface and started the lottery draw. Like the big backhead before, Smith brought him 2 lottery draws. And Donna Quintana, who can only say that the goddess face is not white, actually provided a lottery. Obviously, the cross has never triggered a lottery. At the end of the 3 consecutive draws, Russell did not know how to complain about the cards he obtained. Item card: carrots, eat more vegetables for physical and mental health. Skill card: 100 shots, your enemy only has insufficient ammunition. Smith provided 2 cards. The skill card of all the hits is very high. Russell is eager to try it, but it may be very large at one time. In order not to waste it, now he can only pass the eye addiction. As for carrots, Russell didn't want to comment, so he looked at hundreds of success and regarded it as a bonus. The 3rd card, Russell just looked at it and felt full of malice from the world. Skill card: death coil, upgraded version of old tree roots. Russell: my goddess, in this world, what exactly are you doing, and you are so proficient in making system recognition a skill? Also, does this card give me a fart? In a bad mood, Ford pulled into the city and parked in a hotel parking lot. To make matters worse, Smith, a poor man, paid for by Russell, opened 3 rooms, and eventually one was vacant. Quintana said that a person is insecure, so he carried the baby in his arms and followed Smith into the room. When the door closed, Russell's face twitched. I paid for it. Russell silently opened the door next door, fell on the bed and was about to fall asleep. He drove a car all day and was mentally exhausted. He didn't know how long he had slept, but Russell heard a strange sound vaguely. He narrowed his eyes slightly and got up from the bed softly. The sound came from next door, which is Smith's room, which made Russell nervous for a while. Did the 2 of them get attacked? Russell moved carefully, making no noise as much as possible, and put his ears against the wall. The sound insulation of the hotel room was average, and the screams of torture came. Russell rolled his eyes and scolded the dogs and men secretly. The noise disturbed the people in the middle of the night. Will the neighbors go to work tomorrow? The drowsiness was dispelled by the humming magic sound in his ear. Russell washed his face with cold water and checked the M9 he carried with him. At this moment, a dangerous warning suddenly rose in his heart. The door of the room was violently kicked open, and a man in black in a special combat uniform rushed in. Bang! Russell shot the man in black in the chest, turned around and shot again without looking. The glass window was shattered, and the man in black who descended to the window along the rope screamed and fell from the air. There was a muffled sound of falling to the ground, and the screaming stopped abruptly. At the same time, the next room was also full of gunfire. Russell took a deep breath and threw himself on the ground. The wooden walls of the hotel were shot through, and Russell crawled to the door. There was not a single ghost in the hallway, apparently all going to Smith's. Smith was quick, and when Russell came to his door, the fight inside was over. Smith. Okay, I know it's you, don't make a sound, I can hear your footsteps. Simple dialogue, avoiding unnecessary firefights. Russell strode into the door and saw the dog and the woman hugging each other. Quintana put both hands on Smith's neck, and even if Russell walked in, she had no intention of leaving.